Amazon? Really? Okay. So, okay, okay, all right. Okay, so now we're ready to get started. Understanding Daniel. Here's in Daniel. 12. How many chapters in Revelation? 22. So how many is that? 12 is what? Huh? 22 and 12. 34. So that means we're going to be together, one big happy family online and here for 34 weeks. If you don't love me now, you ought to love me by the end of 34 weeks, or there's something wrong with you. Not me. All right. As we near the close world, the prophecies recorded special attention as they relate to the very time to which we're living. With them should be linked the study these prophecies, because Daniel and Revelation takes us from where we are to the second coming of Christ. Okay, why the Lord likes to talk to us in vision and symbols and things of that nature, it stands more firm in our mind. And now we're going to do the first chapter of Daniel, the court. After each of these brief little background things, there's always everybody to take. I love, you like taking tests. If not, get used to it, because we're going to have a big old giant test before the. Remember what we're going to be tested on? Huh? Does anybody know? Yeah, huge test. So study it now. Chapter 1. The children, they're back on God. Nebuchadnezzar was sent. In 605 BC, Jehoiakim's third reign, Jeremiah's warnings foretold this event. For 391 years, they were told about this is going to happen through Jeremiah. The people of Jerusalem were taken to a land where the name Jehovah would not come to their ears. Songs of praise, thanksgivings, the Israelites would no longer hear. Among the Jews that were taken from Jerusalem were men, women, and youth who were firm as a rock. They loved the Lord, and he was not ashamed of them, his special flock. Now, among the captives who were taken were Daniel, Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael. Let's say that together. Daniel. Yes, whenever we speak of the Hebrew boys, we need to use their Hebrew names. Okay? They were chosen to represent God's character in a land where only idolatry dwells. Their parents gave much thought in choosing their names. Divine meaning of each name was given. Their names were a reminder of who they serve, helping them to stay divinely driven. We probably need to do that today too. Name your children after what kind of character you would like to see in them. Daniel's name means God is my judge. Hananiah, God is gracious. Mishael, who belongs to God. Azariah, the Lord helps, keeping me courageous. Those are, it'll come back on you in a test, but you'll be good because you're smart. Why are you so smart? Because, what did Randy say? Because Christ lives in us. Daniel and his friends had been trained by their parents to eat right and make God their strong tower. They were taught that God will be dishonored if they did anything to weaken their power. Daniel and his friends were around 17 years old. How old? And actually, nobody was over 18. Daniel and his friends were around 17 years old when they were taken from their parents' face. The lessons learned in their earlier years taught them to serve God in any place. So they left home at 17 and never saw their parents again. Right? Isn't that something? When they arrived in Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar said, Ashpenaz, take heed. Bring me certain ones of the children of Israel, only those from royal seed. So you can see the Hebrew boys are relatives, kings of Judah, Jehoahaz, Jehoiakim, and so they were of royal. They must be handsome, no blemish, physically fit, gifted in wisdom, and quick to understand. They must be intelligent and able to learn the language of the Chaldean land. Nebuchadnezzar saw in those four youth a remarkable ability. In fact, he said, I want them trained to fill important positions because of how they look and act. So a lot of times it's a lot of times it's a lot about how you're looking. When you go for an interview, it's a lot about how you look. For 3 years, the Hebrew boys were to learn the language and science of the Chaldean tongue. They closed their ears and eyes to every temptation, and on God's word they hung. So imagine, we're looking at some teenage boys. Of course, when you're 17 and 18 now, they're grown, but they look at teenage boys surrounded by nothing but idolatry. And every time they had to be surrounded by that, we're told that they closed their eyes and they were just praying while all this stuff was going on around them. Their Hebrew names were changed to Babylonian names, which reflected heathen gods, Their names were changed to Belteshazzar, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So those were the Babylonian names. And those names are after the Babylonian gods. They proved they were firm and stable. They were told they should eat the food and drink wine right from the king's table. But the approval of God was than the king's position and rank. They decided not to defile themselves with the king's meat or wine that he drank. In their decision to not eat from the table, they weren't being arrogant. There were several reasons why the Hebrew boys could not eat king's food. The Babylonians ate unclean meat, and the animals were not properly killed. Do you understand how animals had to be killed in Leviticus and why he couldn't eat it? Yeah. Now remember now we got some mics, so you got to speak in the mics. Where are they? Where's the mics?
Here's the mic. Who needs one?
Okay. Okay. All right. Do we have a mic passer? We need a mic passer. So when you do this, Sierra, can you be a mic passer? Come on and stand in the middle with a mic and help pass. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. That's okay, because you're just not eating. That's good. Anyway, someone answering. Who was answering that? Was that you, Latif?
I had a question.
Okay.
Did they have to be killed the way that like halal and
Leviticus? In Leviticus, they had the blood there was a certain way that you had to slice that and you turn it upside down.
neck.
Blood completely out.
Halal and kosher, like they
Yes,
they
kosher.
kosher and halal.
Exactly.
And they pray. Did they pray over them too?
That
I'm
not sure about all that. Okay. So here we go. The Israelites ate unclean meat, and the animals were not properly killed. The boys' diet, and it was not part of God's will. Also, the king asked a blessing before his meals, praying to idols of every kind. Part of his food was presented to idol gods, and a portion of the wine. So he couldn't drink it because the food was offered to idols, like the halal meat. To even sit at the table where idolatry was practiced, reasoned Daniel and his friends, would greatly dishonor the God of heaven, whom they vowed never to offend. And that's huge, because at the table, but still not ate. They could have brought their own food, right? But when people see them sitting at the table, it looks like you're doing the same thing that they're doing. So we had to be careful of that as well. If they could be excused from the king's royal table feast, Ashpenaz had tender love for Daniel, but he was afraid to grant his request. Ashpenaz was a chief of the eunuchs, okay? And so he was in charge of Daniel and the three boys. And so he would not grant that request. He said, what if I did change your diet and you're not as healthy as others? He said, I that King Nebuchadnezzar would surely endanger my head. So then Daniel appealed to Melzar. Now who was the name of the first person that was over them? Ashpenaz. Say it again, because it's going to come back to you. Ashpenaz. Okay. Then Daniel appealed to Melzar, who was the main tutor over the youth, saying, for 10 days, just give us pulse and water and then compare us to the others as proof. What's pulse? Huh? I hear a fruit and vegetable. I hear a vegetable. What's pulse? Huh? Who said it? It's a vegetable. Lentils, peas, beans, and then also was included. I was thinking, first read that, I said, vegetables and water, don't all that balance, you know, but it's more of that. It's the same thing when God gave his manna in the wilderness. It had everything in it that they would need. Remember, people said you could boil it, you could seed a lot of things. Okay. So for how long were they to eat that? 10 days. The word pulse means food derived from such as lentil, peas, cereal, and beans. Berries and dates were also included. This is what the term pulse means. Pulse don't sound too good, do it? Melzar agreed, and after 10 days, it was the opposite of what he had feared. The Hebrew boys were healthy and strong, so they ate pulse and water for 3 whole years. The time came for Nebuchadnezzar to examine the youth. Years had come to its end. It was found that no one could compare to Daniel and his 3 friends. They were 10 times better than the other candidates in strength and everything. They had clearer minds and even sweet smelling breath. They stood before the king. God gave skill and wisdom. When they studied the sciences, they weren't corrupted. They held great leadership positions in Babylon because from God they were instructed. God had a twofold purpose in sending these youth to a heathen land. They were also used as a divine instrument for the king to see God's hand. So when the Lord and his friends to go to battle, it was he used them for the conversion of King Nebuchadnezzar, as you'll find continuing these lessons. King Nebuchadnezzar will be in heaven, will go to heaven. Of course, I shouldn't have said that. I should have waited until we got to it. Anyway, stop me when I start saying things that y'all want me to wait. Dare to be a Daniel. Dare to stand alone. Have to always do what's right. Dare to make it known. A cowardly, silent, others see your light dim is a denial of Jesus Christ and one of them. And his friends wasn't the kind of people, if someone was saying something about their Lord, they're going to sit there with him and like that and scared to say anything. Stand up. Yes, Shirley, with the mic.
That's a children's song.
I know.
I remember that.
Words are, and the rest.
No, dare to stand alone, dare to make. I remember the song.
That is the song we used to sing. Dare to be a Daniel. I have been praying. They stood up in that heathen land. No young people will have to go. The Lord calls them beloved. They never wavered from what was right. And now, you ready for your quiz?
Oh, I'm ready.
You ready? All right. And I will be great. Oh, that was the whole essence of Now, chapters 1 is all it's just about background information about Daniel and his friend. At chapter 7, we get into the propheticness of the book. But the first 6 is history. Are you ready for the text? All right. You want that? I'm gonna give you a quick one. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. Tell me the name. This is not fair. Okay. Tell me the name of the person that was in charge of the boys when they got there. Huh? Ashpenaz. Now,
Ashpenaz.
tell me the names of their Hebrew names, all 4.
Belteshazzar, Hananiah, Meek,
Very
Misha.
good. Very good.
Right.
Azariah, Mishael. Did you say Daniel? Okay, good. Okay, all right. Tell me their Babylonian names that was changed to. But tell me, I'll say Daniel, then you tell me what it was changed to. You got it? Yeah. You got it? Okay, I need you over in the corner. Stop all that chewing. And answer. You can chew. Okay, all right. Daniel. When I say Daniel, you say Belteshazzar. Okay, all right. Hananiah. Shadrach. Say it nice and loud. See, they can't hear you. Yeah, Shadrach. Okay. Mishael, Meshach, and Azariah. Yeah, you know what your clues are? Mishael is the same as M for Meshach. Azariah, the same as the A for Abednego. Daniel, of course, there's no clue there. You just have to know it. Belteshazzar, and then Hananiah, Shadrach. All right, very good. If I were to grade you, I'd give you a C.
At least that's passing.
Huh?
That's passing.
Here we go. You ready for the quiz? You ready, online viewers? Huh?
It's a short quiz.
We're not going to go. No, because we went through it. We want to see how your brains are working if you're able to retain. Okay, and I know you're going to be good because you're wonderful. Okay, I'm sure the online viewers is not complaining already. See, they're just as sweet. Here we go. Quiz time. Whom did God send to punish the children of Israel? Okay,
Nebuchadnezzar.
all 3. The Babylon, Chaldeans, which is just the people there, and Nebuchadnezzar.
The question, because it says whom.
Whom?
I would think a person. I would never choose Babylon because it said whom.
And it doesn't say all.
Please use the microphones. We can't hear.
Listen, people. The online guest said, please use the microphone. Okay. All right. So we need.
I'm sorry. Can you guys hear?
Before you say anything, let's just get some rules here. Let's get some house rules. Sierra, can you handle this side of the thing with the mic? Who's going to handle this one over here?
Oh, can you guys hear?
Nikki will handle this one, and we have another mic somewhere. Okay.
Sorry.
And I need someone. That one we can put right in the front. Okay.
I can get to all of these.
And Nikki can do it. Okay. Thank you, online person who said that. Now, whom did God send? He sent Nebuchadnezzar, the Chaldeans, and the people of Babylon. So that's okay.
Okay.
All right, you got it? Here we go. How long were they to remain in Babylon?
7 years.
What's the number?
70.
Is anybody online who's going to answer that? How long were they to remain in Babylon?
70 years. 70 years.
70 years. 70. Okay. So you can imagine if they were like 18 when they left, they were 70. So then and they're almost 90. Never saw their parents again. Here we go. Name the main Hebrew boys that were taken. Very good. Go. A.
Daniel,
B.
Hananiah,
Hananiah,
And D.
Mishael, Azariah.
Azariah. Very good. Very good. If you're having a problem pronouncing names from the Bible, just go on Google and say, pronounce this, and it'll pronounce it. Okay? Google's good for a lot of things. Here we go. What do our Hebrew names mean? I got, see the blues clues? Clues for you. Oh, okay. So Daniel means what? God is my judge. What
Judge.
about Hananiah?
The Lord is God. The
Huh? Someone online is speaking. I'm trying to hear. What did you say?
The Lord is gracious.
The Lord is gracious. And Michelle?
Who belongs to God?
Who belongs to God. And Azariah? The Lord helps. The blues clues also help. So do it again, faster. Daniel.
God is my judge.
Hananiah. Mishael. Who belongs to God. Azariah. The Lord helps. Wonderful. Wonderful. It'll come back on you next week. We always do a review. And easy. What were their Hebrew names changed to? Daniel,
Belteshazzar,
Hananiah, Mishael,
Meshach,
Azariah. Can
Abednego.
you do it with your eyes closed? Close them. Everybody, I'll give you the name. Close them. Online people, close your eyes. Daniel, Hananiah, Shadrach, Mishael, and Azariah. Very good. Now, how old were the Hebrew boys when they were taken?
Not over. Oh,
Oh, I forgot. Okay, I forgot. Sometimes it could be one answer, it could be two, or it could be three. So, about how old were the Hebrew boys?
A and C.
About how old? A and C. Around 17, not over 18. Okay. Who was placed in charge of the boys when they arrived?
Ashpenaz.
What's the name?
Ashpenaz.
A and C.
Okay, I hear A and C.
Aspenaz was the prince of the East.
Okay, all right, let's see what we got. A and C. Aspenaz was the prince of the eunuchs, and Aspenaz. Now, what's a eunuch? What's a eunuch? Yes, but you gotta have a mic.
A eunuch is a person who is over, I don't know how to say this any gentler, a man who has been castrated,
Okay.
cannot have children.
A man that has been castrated. Some people, then the Bible does not say that the Hebrew boys were castrated. It does not say that. Just because Ashpenaz was in charge of them, that doesn't mean that Daniel and his boys were castrated. There are eunuchs, there are literal eunuchs, those who are castrated. There are eunuchs who made themselves eunuchs, saying, I just refuse to have sex with a woman, or, or there was, it's called a royal title. It's also called a eunuch. So it doesn't mean that everybody who's a eunuch was castrated. Certain of the children of Israel were chosen to be trained. What was the criteria?
A and B.
All three. They had to be handsome, physically fit, had to be of royal seed. Now, we're told that tens of thousands of Jews were taken to Babylon, but only 4 of them was chosen to be a part of the king's court. And you'll know why as we go later on into the book of Daniel. How many years was given them to learn the language of the Chaldeans? Or we need a mic? Okay. 3 years. The Hebrew boys were given Babylonian names. And what were their names again? Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah. Wonderful. The Hebrew boys were given Babylonian names. What were their Babylonian names? And you already answered, that's just the thing. Why did the boys make the decision not to eat from the king's table? You're going to fill in the blanks. A, the Babylonians ate unclean meat. B, the Babylonians' food was offered to idols. C, the Hebrew boys didn't drink fermented wine, very good, and the animals were not killed properly. Yes, which is kosher. Very good. That's why they could not eat the meat or even sit at the table with their own little bag lunch. Couldn't do it. They didn't want to because it would still offend God. Yes, even just sitting there. It's just like people say they want to go to a don't drink, but they want to hang out with their friends at the bar, like they did at my job. They was going to a bar and they knew I didn't drink, and they were saying, "But Roberta, oh, you just order you some juice." I said, "But if I'm sitting there and everybody drinking, I won't be able to explain that I wasn't drinking. Nobody's gonna believe me." You know, here we go. Yeah, here we go. What was Ashpenaz's response when Daniel asked if they could be excused from eating from the table? What did he say? Okay, I hear a C. And we always want the best answer, you can get. So, all right, let's see what we got here. C. If you're not as healthy as the others, the king will have my head. What's wrong with A? He didn't say it wouldn't be fair, and he did not grant the request. So we're looking at C. Very good. Huh? No, not Ashpenaz. Yeah, I'm talking about Ashpenaz here. All right? Melzar granted the request, not Ashpenaz. Ashpenaz was the person that was in charge of them immediately. He was a chief of the eunuchs. Melzar was to tutor them. He was the one that was give them their training. Okay. What did Daniel do?
B.
Yep, he appealed to Melzar. All right. What did Daniel request from Melzar?
B.
What's the question? What's the answer?
B.
What did Daniel request from Melzar? Where are we going with?
A and B. A and B.
A and B. What's wrong with C? Yeah, the same thing. So it's A and B. For 10 days, give us a vegetarian diet. For 10 days, just give us pulse and water. Okay? It's not C because vegetables and pulse is the same thing. It's the same thing.
I mean, but is it technically wrong?
It's technically wrong because I said, give me the best answer. Okay. So that's the best. See, he didn't say just give us vegetables and vegetables. Okay.
It could be one could argue that it could be correct as well because it's nothing contrary saying that it's not correct, but for you saying it's the best.
Well, because it doesn't, if somebody.
But if it's what they did.
Right. So if I came to your house and you asked me what did I want to eat and you have beans and rice, I'm going to say I want beans and beans. That's what they're saying here. I want vegetables and vegetables.
Can you just say that C doesn't include water?
And C does not include water. Mike, for 10 days, just give us.
I said
yes.
vegetables does not include berries. You said that they were given berries.
It's one of the things that was also included.
And the pulse.
But I didn't have berries and stuff up here because the Bible talks about pulse.
She said pulse included berries. That's what I heard her say. And vegetables don't include berries, right?
Right. Vegetables is a vegetable, the berry is a berry. Yeah. But anyway, the best answers is pulse and water for 10 days. After 10 days, what happened?
A and B.
What is it?
A and B.
B,
B.
the boys were healthy and strong, so they ate pulse and water for 3 years. A says they ate it for 10 years. And then C says they ate vegetable water for the rest of their stay. Not true. Their rest of their stay was 80 more years, All right. So sometimes it's a little, we want you to look and read and make sure, don't skim through it. Just read every little detail like you do when you study God's word, right? Don't skim through it. Just look at the little things. That says 10 years, it wasn't 10, it was 3. It was not the rest of their stay. Yes.
Right. I mean, I thought we went over that and you said they
No,
ate
for-
that way the whole
For
time.
3 years. They
So
were
what did they eat after the 3 years?
okay, number one, that's probably a whole nother lesson
Oh.
on what they ate after 3 years. What we're trying to do is follow what it says. What it says in the, but we can easily assume, because God was with them for their whole stay, that they didn't go back, like some people do. Some people tell the Lord, I'm going to go on a diet from TV for 2 weeks. I'm going to sit with you and we're going to have a retreat and we're going to talk and we're going to commune. Then 2 weeks is over, you go back to looking at whatever you want. What sense does that
I
make?
think they might have had some apple juice.
But saints of the Most High, stay close to what has been revealed in scriptures, and let's not swing off base. Okay, here we go. After 3 years, what was the result? What was the result after 3
B.
years? What is it?
It
Yeah,
did.
they were
B.
10 times better than the others, 10 times. And look, and their breath was smelling good. They could think clear. They just looked so good. Now, 10 days is not a long enough time to show that type of improvement. So who you think where they get
Divine
that from?
intervention.
Yes. We try to say people go on a diet for 10 days, they gain weight. You got to give it time to work. You know what I'm saying? So very good. 10 times better. That means you did awesome. If I were to grade you, if I were to grade you, I would give you a B. I would give you a B. Yeah, and that's good. That's really good. Okay, we'll see. Hey, we'll see how y'all do when we start getting into the.
We don't need to grade.
Next week, we'll study Daniel chapter 2. We'll learn about Nebuchadnezzar's strange dream and watch God's prophecy come true. And you see, saints of the Most High, we even started a little later, maybe 5 minutes after, and we still made it in 1 hour. So that's really good, because we know how the Lord knows how our mind works. After 5 minutes, if you don't start dancing and doing something from the ceiling, people are going to fall asleep. So he knows how our minds work. And this is beautiful. Now, are there any questions? Any questions about the first chapter of Daniel? And we got a mic flowing around here.
You got one? Well, it's not really a question, it's just a comment, because when I read, I try to pertain it to what I can apply it to right now.
Yes.
And so I don't know if you guys do that or not, but this is something new to me. I'm trying to have a deeper reading or deeper level with God when I'm reading.
Yes.
So to pertain it to now in
Uh-huh.
the chapter that we just read,
Right.
what I took away from it is not steering from what God has told us to do.
Yes.
Stand strong no
Yes.
matter what. And you could be a witness for others, because then they started everyone else eating a certain way. That applies
Yes.
to food in your everyday life.
Right.
So that's just what I wanted to
And
just
that's
throw
good.
out there.
And thank you, Tamika. That was very, really good, because we have to make sure everything that you study applies in your life. You can go all the way back to the Old Testament, all the way back. Everything still applies to your life today. And we need to all strive to be like Daniel Shirley.
And if we were to grade you, we would give you an A.
Whoa! Whoa! I have a question. Any reason why I couldn't get an A+? No. No. So yeah, we'll give God the highest grade ever. Thank you, because this is something that I love teaching and making things simple, and I just love I just love you guys. You know, you know. And anyway, so next week, all you gotta do, read Daniel chapter 2. We will review first, and then we'll go right into the lesson. So how many weeks are we gonna be sharing this love together? Huh? 34 weeks so you got, yeah, right. 33 more. Okay, but when you say it like that, does it sound long? Yeah. It's not long. We're only talking about an hour a week. What is that?
Nothing compared to what God has done for us.
Huh? There you go. Did y'all hear that? Jerry said a day and a half of meetings because it's just an hour. Any comments? Let's hear any comments or takeaways from our online saints.
I would just like to say thank you so much, Sister Perry.
Oh, hold on. Yes.
I would just like to say thank you so much for doing these teachings with us. I'm sorry I wasn't there today. I'm going to try to truly be there next week, Sabbath.
Okay. Oh,
Yep.
wonderful, wonderful.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Praise the Lord. Thank you. Shirley, you got a mic? Oh, okay. So that book, those two books, because you have to buy them both in a set. You can't buy one. Okay. So those two books is Daniel and Revelation, exhaustive commentary on Daniel and Revelation by Ellen G. White. Okay. All right. Yeah, and I don't think it's gonna go too much cheaper than that.
So can I borrow yours?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Get it from the church.
Okay, I didn't hear. Okay. Over here in this corner. Hold on a minute. Mika, get the mic.
A suggestion.
Yes.
So why don't we get it from the church? Yes.
Okay. Why
At a
don't
discounted
we
rate.
get it from the church at a discounted rate? You just got a discount. She said it was $129. That's a discount.
What's the original price?
Yeah. It was $1,000. Right? Mm-hmm.
Wait, what's the original price?
What's the original what, dear?
Yeah, what's the original price? You said that was the discount.
Oh, when these first was out, it was $140 when they were first out. And then when they went out of print, then the people started selling them on eBay for $900 to $1,000 because no, you cannot. Because I don't.
That's offline.
Right. So anyway, we'll discuss offline. So if there's no other questions, dear saints of the Most High, study your lesson, chapter 2, Daniel, next week, and Nebuchadnezzar's dream. And then we will see you back here next Sabbath with your little lunch. As you can see, I didn't bring a lunch. I'm still alive. Of course I did.
We want to thrive, not just survive.
Let's bow our heads, saints. Let's bow our heads. Dear Father, thank you so much for communing with us for this 1 hour. Thank you for showing us how much you love us. Continue to bless us. Continue to be with us. Carry us this week and bring us back next week, Lord. Help us to study your word every single day. Help us to dare to be like Daniel and his friends. In Jesus' name, amen. All righty.